first game, loss. What's the hunger and bite for this team to come back for a home opener and get a win?
What is it?
Or do you feel the hunger?
Yeah, they do. Coaching staff does. It's a hate to lose type of mentality. And let me clarify that. So people love winning championships, yes, everything. When I say hate to lose, it's like the team put the effort into it. They never quit. They came back from a 2-0 deficit to bring it close, and then had some other chances there to get back in it to at least equalize to get a point. So the amount of effort they put in, the application in preseason, that's why it stings a little bit, because do all that work, you don't come out with anything, it hurts.
Let's roll through some injury updates, though. Before any further, obviously you spoke after the game, but Stefan Frey, let's start with him.
Probably won't see the game. Well, I'll just rule him out. He's not gonna play.
Joao Paulo.
Probably not gonna play.
Albert Rusnak.
Probably not gonna play.
Is there anybody from what we saw last weekend that is gonna play?
Raul's gonna be the questionable, probable. I mean, he got dinged in the ribs pretty hard. They did an X-ray afterwards and stuff like that, but I think he'll be ready.
Do you feel any better about your game planning with a week to prepare as opposed to just, overnight, essentially, to prepare without Albert?
Yeah, well, so having said that, Raul didn't train today.
Right.
And he may not train tomorrow because, rib injuries are painful. So we're not going to have a lot of time.
Right.
So we're going to work on plan B and C and, get those guys ready, and we'll see what we get.
Does that mean that formation is kind of a toss-up then as far as this week goes?
Well, the formation was an interesting one, Jada, because it looked 4-4-2, but we asked Raul to do certain things that occur when we play our 4-2-3-1, and he did those. So on paper it's 4-4-2, yes, but there's certain responsibilities, I would say, that come with Jordan or Raul coming in with Eli Sanchez and certain things like that. Austin plays very similar, so there'll be a little bit of drama, I guess, with lineup and how it looks on a piece of paper, but on the field, the expectations are there.
Well, I was going to say, as far as you're moving training down to Lumen, is that to test out the turf? And what are you expecting? I don't know how much.
It's going to be nice, I'm sure.
Looking at the video, it might have seemed like whether it was in transition or in rest defense, LAFC was able to move the ball quite easily on you guys. Was that because of the pressing? Was it the counter pressing? What wasn't quite working against LAFC?
The length of our possessions, extending our possessions, help us get our active defending correct. So sometimes when we went down the field, the game opened up a little earlier than I thought it would. In the first half, there was some, back and forth. And so that is one thing we discussed in the film. What happens when we get down the field, we're in the opponent's half of the field, are we too rushed? And do we establish more possession away from home, tire your opponent out, get your defense in the right positions to counter press? That was one of it. Second is just, that's their game, and they're good at it. They've got some good players that like to get out and run. So,
when it comes to Jordan Morris and some of the tests that he had, how much goes into maybe talking to him and making sure that he kind of goes through those moments in a positive way and doesn't get stuck on those?
He's not stuck on them. He knows that he had a couple of chances, but good thing is he's generating those. He's putting himself in those positions, and it'll come.
In watching the film, what did you like from Pedro de la Vega, and what more do you want to see from him?
A little bit of excitement when he got on the field, certainly. You guys saw his attacking tendencies. We'll have to work on some of the defending. That's what we did a little bit today, just to make sure he understands a little bit more of how we like to defend. But look, we're going to let him go. We're going to let him do what he does. I'm not going to corral that. So we'll see what we get.
How much more fit is he? Like, how many? He was 30 minutes, you said, 25, 30 minutes this last week?
There's a potential that he'll start. I would say that.
With that, how much conversation or with Leo does that bring up as far as wanting to start Pedro, or that change there?
We'll have a
Possibly
conversation
happen.
with Leo, but it's not settled yet. Leo has had a chance to, put Pedro in a different position.
Has he? How do you feel that he's progressing, Leo, through training camp?
Good. He's fine. Leo's fine.
You had a pretty spirited 5v5 today. What did you like out of that, and what did you make of the winning group?
Part of that is winning duels. So days like today, we focus on competition. Little wrinkle on that, making the rest of the group watch the final. So credit to the coaching staff for coming up with different ways to engage you, see it worked with you.
Yeah.
For the players that are sitting on the sideline, it's got to hurt. They're not playing in a final.
Do you get a sense that it does ramp up the intensity when you do that, kind of like have a little final there where
For sure. Well, we told them before training started, that we're going to have a winner, and it's going to be a final, and the rest of you guys are going to watch.
Do they get anything?
No.
no one won a first team contract?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Speaking of which, Kalani was on that winning team. Where do you see him right now?
He looks pretty good. I mean, he had a great preseason and looked good today, so those will be ongoing conversations. We'll talk to H and see what he thinks, and might not happen now, but I think it's going to happen.
I don't know if you have quite said exactly what's going on with Yaymar. Is he all right? Is there?
He's fine. We're building fitness.
And is the expectation that he's still probably not available this week?
Probably not this week, but certainly the following week.
And with Steph and JP, it's not. It's just the way that you're gradually bringing them back, or is there more of an issue with
there's
Steph?
there's no rush to bring them back. It's too early in the season to put them at risk for a bigger injury. Both of their injuries are smaller. JP's a little hip flexing thing, and Steph's strain of his hamstring.
Yeah.
You can put guys like that at risk if you bring them back too early. So we're just going to be cautious.
And Reed, is he?
He's getting closer, but he's still a ways away.
And so now with that decision with Steph, is it Andrew's job to lose, or do you want to see what Jacob looks like too?
The pecking order is Steph Fry, Andrew, and then Jacob.
And is that how much of that is your call, and how much of that do you leave to Tommy to basically decide who the?
That's a great question. Mm-hmm. I would say 100% Tommy's, but then I wouldn't be doing my job. But he's got a lot of say in it.